aminos, but it's a legume-derived protein that goes from the stomach to the lymph system to the muscle. And when I look at that little white tab, I'm blown away to think that that used to be a legume. So could you explain a little bit of the process from legume to that tablet? And also, why does it go from the stomach to the lymph system and not from the stomach to the blood before it goes into the muscle?
It's a good question. So the master aminos are derived from legumes, but they are isolated proteins. So it's not like a part of a legume. It's the protein taken from the legume. And then those proteins are isolated and then combined in a very specific way so that they do not pass through the blood, so that they do not have to go through the kidneys. In doing so, there's zero fecal matter created. Most protein, when it goes to the blood, all protein, when it goes to the blood, creates a byproduct of uric acid. The master aminos do not create any uric acid. And so by going through the lymph fluid, they're pre-digested, so they don't have to go through the blood. And that way, they won't have any of the effect that protein has on blood. It goes through the lymph system directly to your muscle. And so that's a great advantage. So personally, I was very, very skeptical of the master aminos, and for 10 years, we didn't carry them. I was strictly whole food, and then one day, a lady came here from San Diego, and she was in a wheelchair, and she said, I talked to Dr. Luca, and he put me on his aminos, but he said I had to come here to see you, and you put me on your program. So I did. And she goes, why aren't you taking the aminos? And I gave her my justification. 6 months later, we're at our national convention in Germany, and this lady comes up, and she calls me out for not taking aminos, and she challenges me to a push-up contest.
Wow.
She's like 62 years old. She had been in a wheelchair when I met her, and she walked on stage under her own power and did 40 push-ups.
Wow.
Now at the time I probably could have done 41, but I didn't because I wanted to make sure that she had her moment. And she did them better than me, trust me. And at that time I told myself, why am I so close-minded? Why do I think that so I checked and I verified that they were non-GMO, that they were completely pure without any binders, and I started taking them. And literally within 30 days, my body transformed. I just saw cuts and connective tissue, and I felt, like I was thinking sharper. So I can't explain the aminos other than to say that I did my standard check on them, and I'm about to do another review, by the way, because every few years I review every product in a very thorough way, and Master Aminos is coming up for another review. And we verified that it's non-GMO, that there's no binders, fillers, or excipients, and by the way, it's got 36 double-blind clinical studies in peer-reviewed journals. It's sort of hard to argue with that. It's been used for like over 20 years, and it's used in nearly every hospital in the world. So it's pretty safe, and it's effective, but I don't know exactly how they isolate the proteins from the legumes.
And is it true that each tab is about equivalent to 2 or 2.5 grams of protein?
More like 8 grams of protein.
Each tab?
Yeah.
Wow.
For its ability to build muscle on your body.
Thank you.
We're going to go here and then